Space missions run on math. Cold, serious, terrifying math. The kind of math that makes normal people open a calculator, see a bunch of symbols, and immediately decide they'd rather become farmers. But aerospace engineers? Oh, they love this stuff. Orbital mechanics, vector calculus, gravitational modeling. These people stare at equations the way normal humans stare at cute puppies. And at the center of every space mission sits one sacred thing: the navigation model. This is the mathematical brain that predicts where the spacecraft should go, where it will go, and where it absolutely should not go unless you enjoy explaining things to Congress. The navigation model tells engineers exactly how a spacecraft will move through space, how gravity will pull it, how thrusters will push it, how sunlight will gently bully it across millions of kilometers. And when that model works, it's beautiful. But today's story is about the model that almost worked. Not completely wrong, not catastrophically broken, worse. It was almost correct, which is the most dangerous type of wrong. Because almost correct is how space missions quietly drift into chaos while engineers sit in mission control whispering, "Why is that number doing that?" Before the problem began, the navigation model was a masterpiece. Engineers had spent years building it. Years. Some of these people had probably started working on this model when they still had hope, good posture, and hairlines that hadn't yet surrendered to stress. The model simulated everything: gravity from Earth, gravity from the moon, gravity from the sun, tiny forces from solar radiation pressure, even weird effects like thermal expansion pushing the spacecraft ever so slightly off course. This thing was ridiculously detailed. If a photon sneezed near the spacecraft, the model probably accounted for it. Engineers ran the simulation thousands of times. Every test said the same thing. The trajectory was perfect. The spacecraft would launch, perform its burns, glide through space, and arrive exactly where the mission designers wanted. Beautiful, elegant, predictable. Mission Control looked at the graphs and smiled the kind of smile people make when they believe they've defeated chaos itself, which is adorable. Because chaos loves engineers with confidence. Launch day came. The rocket lifted off. Stage separation worked. Solar panels deployed. Telemetry streamed in. And the spacecraft began following the predicted trajectory exactly the way the model said it would. Engineers were thrilled. The model was right, which made them feel extremely smart. And when engineers feel extremely smart, that's usually when reality starts sharpening a knife. For the first few days, everything matched the model perfectly. Navigation data lined up. Velocity vectors behaved. Orbital parameters looked exactly like the simulation predicted. It was like watching reality politely follow a script written by mathematicians. But then, one small number appeared. Not a big number, not a scary number, just slightly different. An engineer leaned forward, squinted. Now in engineering language, translates to, "I do not trust this nonsense." But the discrepancy was tiny. Tiny enough to ignore. So they ignored it, which is mistake number one in engineering. Because tiny problems have a nasty habit of becoming medium problems, then large problems, then why are we drifting toward the wrong planet problems? A few hours later, another number looked strange. Still small, still harmless, but definitely not matching the model. Engineers opened spreadsheets. Navigation logs got downloaded. Simulations were rerun. And the model confidently declared, everything should still be perfect. Reality disagreed slightly, which was annoying. Over the next few days, the discrepancies grew. Not dramatically, not explosively, just persistently. The spacecraft was slowly drifting away from the model's predictions. The difference wasn't huge. But in space navigation, tiny differences matter. Because when you're traveling millions of kilometers, a tiny angle error becomes a gigantic embarrassment later. Mission Control began running diagnostics. Thrusters checked out. Sensors checked out. Communication system fine. The spacecraft itself was healthy, which meant the problem wasn't the hardware. It was the math. And engineers hate it when the math is wrong, because math is supposed to be the one thing you can trust. Meetings began. Lots of meetings. Meetings with graphs. Meetings with simulations. Meetings where someone inevitably says, let's revisit the assumptions, which is engineer code 4. We may have screwed something up. Eventually, someone noticed the issue. The navigation model accounted for solar radiation pressure, but the spacecraft's reflective surfaces had changed slightly after launch. Tiny changes, thermal expansion, surface heating, panel alignment shifts, nothing dramatic, but enough to slightly change how sunlight pushed on the spacecraft. The model assumed one value. Reality produced another, which meant every calculation was just a little wrong. Not disastrously wrong, just irritatingly wrong. The spacecraft was drifting because the model believed sunlight behaved one way, and sunlight politely disagreed. Now Mission Control had a decision: update the model, or correct the spacecraft. Naturally, they did both. Engineers recalculated the trajectory using the updated solar pressure values. Navigation software adjusted. Thruster correction burns planned. Commands were uploaded. The spacecraft fired its thrusters. Telemetry confirmed the maneuver. The drift slowed, then stopped. Navigation data lined up again. The model now matched reality. Mission Control breathed again, which is always nice. In the end, the mission succeeded. The spacecraft arrived where it needed to go. Science was collected. Everyone wrote very calm reports about the minor discrepancy, which is the engineering equivalent of saying, we had a mild panic attack, but everything is fine now. But the engineers never forgot that model. The model that was almost right. Because space exploration runs on math. But math only works as well as the assumptions behind it. And the universe has a wonderful sense of humor when humans assume too much. Somewhere right now, an engineer is running a simulation. The graphs look beautiful. The numbers look perfect. And the model is confidently predicting the future. And somewhere out in space, reality is quietly preparing a small correction, just enough to make someone in Mission Control lean forward, squint at the screen, and whisper. That's not what the model said,